would the darn thing be wandering? She's just a foundling, barely worth fondling. My posse's on Broadway like mama, I want to sing. Mad plays the bass like the race card. Villain in the place to break shards and leave a face scarred. Groovy dude, not to prove to be rude, but this stuff is like what you might put on movie food. What is jalapenos? Get it like a whooping when you holler at your seniors. Dollar, you can overhear the hashish fiender. He just came from over there, the grass is greener. Last wish, I wish I had 2 more wishes. And I wish they fixed the door to the matrix, it's mad glitches. Flip so many verses, sometime my jaw twitches. One thing this party could use is more booze. Put yourself in your own shoes and stay away from all the pairs of busted Timbs he don't use. He only keep them to decorate. If you wanna peep him, select a date and bring a deep check like checkmate. I kid you not, on a dotted line sign. Ever since a minor, kids consider him some kind of Einstein on a diamond mine grind. She was dumb fine, but not quite the type that you might wanna wine and dine. Couldn't find a pen, had to think of a new trick. This one he wrote in cold blood with a toothpick. On second thought, it's too thick. His assistant said, "Doom, you sick." He said, "True, through acoustics." Psycho, the flow is drowning Larry's seasoning. With micro power, he's sounding right reasoning. It's easy as pie, 3.14. One more, one false move, and they done for. Hey, yo, y'all know what time it is.
All have seen the face of the war the enemy wages.
Listerine, green, Charles, sick, clean, jalapeno, Emma, thick queens, Mama Mia, Roz, jalapeno peppers, click, mean, large, brick scene, mirage, ours, quick, mean, cars, strict, mean, law, make you quota, check your clock, shock, taqua, concoct a potion, Blue Island lotion, call it aqua, talk you on watch, short ox, a lot, turicot, Fordham Road, in extorter mode, new spot, too hot, here you go, ma, for you, boom, that's Coco Mango, she let her hang go, her man said, yo, no tango, bangles, jangle, no gang, just tranquil, blank grill, real shank, still bankroll, echo, F to the N and R, 2 thieves, a bum in the car, but never had no beef, so alhamdulillah, it's all of Eddie Duty's top grillers, no Mercedes sign, bubble nuggets with the ruby cop, killer 89, on the line, on the third, like Lupon, word is a bond, that's honor, Don, Shukran, Afwan, Ram Dear Dawn, living sooner of the Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salam.
Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? Here, let me lower the music a little bit. We're on, I'm gonna raise my volume a little bit as well. New mic today, hopefully it's crisp sounds. I hope you guys are, hopefully you guys enjoy this sound quality. I'm excited for it. It's actually wild how good this is. Before I was running on a $14 Wish mic. That's my cat. Cat, what are you doing? He's too busy. There are other cats outside. And so he wants to go outside. But yeah, we're gonna be looking at our stream today. I'm very excited to be doing this little artwork breakdown. I will remove the starting soon. And we will get going with today's little stream. And so I'll lower the music volume a little bit. I don't know if you guys have fully known of this artist who entered the space, but allow me to introduce you to the amazing work that is Paul Reid's paintings. For those who do not know Paul Reid, he's a painter. I believe he's been painting since 1998. Before that, 1998 is where he got his education, and I'll show you his artist biography. But his work is fucking insane, and he joined the space. I fully don't, maybe around, I want to say March, or give me one sec. I'll try to pin it in my memory. It was around I'd say May or March that he joined the space with his piece Minotaur Man over on Foundation, and I found out about his work just through Trevor Jones's tweet about it, and ever since I was like, oh shit, I gotta follow his art. And so if you're ever curious about his Twitter, That's it right here. So go hit him with that follow. And if you're curious about my work personally, or if you ever want to get in contact, this is my personal Twitter right here. You can message me right here. And then if you're ever curious about my personal website, it's right here at mmm.page/anubis3100.eth. But anyways, let's get looking again. Go follow Paul Reid at Minotaur_Man, capital M's for both of them. Insane work, and you'll find out why. But quickly, here I'm gonna organize the tabs to show you, quickly what's NFTs, and then we're gonna go through his website. But first, we'll go look at his artist biography. So if you click on his website right here, which we will click on fairly quickly, real quick. This is where you land at, and we'll be looking at all these. But if you hit more right here, biography, and so this is it. And when I say, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at an artist who will blow a lot of us out of the water, just painting wise. It is true. 110%. And this is his artist biography, and so 1994 to 1998, Duncan of Jordan Stone College of Art, Dundee, first class honors in drawing and painting, so his specialization is drawing and painting. Awarded Carnegie Justification Scholarship and John King Cross Scholarship. Studied in Madrid and Florence. So this is important. This is very important because his blending technique is that of almost Renaissance painting, and you sort of learn a lot of learning how to paint and draw in a place like Madrid or Florence will fucking will teach you some really good shit. Will teach you insanely good shit. And so, to me, the coolest thing personally is this also. In 2004, he accompanied His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, right, to a trip to Italy, Turkey, Jordan, completing a series of painting and drawings based on the visit. And he also accompanied him on a visit to Canada in 2009. And so technically what you classify him as the king, as a royal painter of the crown, right? This is sort of like Velázquez. I'm butchering that name right here, but Diego Velázquez was the Spanish king painter, I believe. He would just paint he was just the painter for the crown, Spanish for the crown. And so technically Paul Reid for 2004 was the painter for the crown, and for 2009 he was painter for the crown on the visit to Canada. And so that's very interesting. That's really fucking interesting. You have to be really good to be selected by fucking the crown. And these are all his exhibitions right here. Insane works. And these are his group exhibitions. But now that I've shown you guys, and also here, these are the collections he's in. And these are not mentioning the private collections. And so if you're curious, private collections are collections that you and I own, right? They're not fully established connections, either by museums or really renowned and big art collectors in the fine art space. So, yeah. I'm gonna lower the. I don't want there to be noise, here. And so with that, we will close the biography and go to the first painting and look at it. Actually, now that I think about it, he might have not entered this. I don't fully know what his first painting in the space was, but this is his only mint on foundation, The Death of Akhenaten. So I'm gonna quickly. You're gonna realize quickly his works are commenting and depicting Greek mythology, which is quite nice. They're very narrative driven. There is a Greek mythological narrative happening within almost all his mythological paintings, and he has a series just called Mythology. And so Achaeton is the son of priestly herdsman Aristus, and Aton in Boeotia was a famous Theban hero. Wait. He was trained by a centaur. What's his significance? Like Achilles in later he was trained by a centaur. Sure, okay. And so this is depicting him as a deer being wounded. And so the bed of Achaeton and the death of Achaeton. So you're also getting that wordplay, right? And the bed of Achaeton in the 2nd century AD, the traveler Pausanias, I guess that's how I pronounce it, was shown a spring on the road in Attica leading to the plateau of Eleutheria. Just beyond Megara and a little further on the rock, it was called the bed of Achaeton, for it said he slept there when weary with hunting, and into his spring he looked. Into the spring he looked while Artemis was bathing, you know. So a little bit, he's got a little bit of a lingering eye, if you will, you know. And so here, let me quickly search that. And so, so this could be, now this is the shit I fucking live for. I don't know about you, but this is legitimately the shit I fucking live for. Alright, because we're gonna zoom in this. And you immediately see, right, in a difference in depiction here. He's being killed by dogs, but with the same deer head. Here he's just been wounded by some sort of spear. Being in really good quality photo, actually, really good documentation. Look at that fucking blending. Look at that blending. It's actually insane. Like, my god. Right? Very similar depictions. Very similar because right, forest setting. This was done in the 16th century or the 15th century, so it's got its depiction limitations. This has no depiction limitations whatsoever, and we're talking about skill here. Just because look again, I draw your attention to all these tones, right? That's purple, that's a little bit of purple hints, orange hint, red hints, right? And look how smooth the skin is. Take it from a person who's trying to paint, who's trying to be a painter, and who's specialized in painting in his BFA. That shit's fucking hard. Smooth skin like that is fucking hard. It takes a while. I'm not bullshitting. It takes a while. Just because you have to learn your techniques, you need to go in with blending. I would probably assume he's also using linseed oil, and for those listening, linseed oil is a medium that we use to thin out our paints, but it's unlike odorless mineral spirits, it's not toxic unless you fucking drink it or consume it. Also, just don't get it on your skin. You should make a habit of not getting a lot of painting shit on your skin, but also it prolongs the drying time, so you can go in the day after and keep blending, you know? And so it's insane. Look at the eye. Now, my main curiosity is why the deer head, right? Alright, John was a hun transformation to deer. Wait. Yeah. But why was he transformed into a deer? That's my question, right? It's like there's some significance to this deer. Alright, Dunderstones, he's often given a deer's head with antlers, even in the scene with the hand. By the time he's killed, he has at least this head and has often completely transformed into a shape of a deer. Wait, okay, The two main scenes surprising Artemis Diana and his death in classical art. Arthronin is formerly known as a full human, even as hounds are killing him. Why? Okay, it's not making unless he is. There is no explanation for the deer head, unfortunately, but it's still interesting to keep note of. You know. Ares says the goddess cast a deer skin around ankle. What the okay. So, the deer head is a little bit unknown, but that's a Renaissance depiction. So he's following in line with the Renaissance depiction, right? And so you can consider this as some sort of modernization of Renaissance painting, and I personally think it's fucking great. It's a nice way to modernize, and bring back the depictions of the Renaissance without copying too much, you know, because this is completely original. And as we saw in the Wikipedia thing, he's usually killed by dogs, but in this instance, he's not. There's a spear. Maybe it is his fighting spear, but we see no evidence of dogs in the painting, right? But again, take note of the colors. Take note of some. You can see visible varnish strokes, which is nice to see. This has been varnished. Right, you have. Look at this. Difference in color. What's the size of this? What's the size of this? Oh, well, I should have just read that. Holy shit. And as you see here, the owner, Trevor fucking Jones. Man's knows. He knows. Says that Gaetan was a hunter in ancient Greece who whilst hunting with his hounds, stumbled upon Artemis bathing in her grove with her nymphs as punishment for this. Okay, so for him staring at Artemis, he got transformed into a stag, right? So he got the deer head and then is hunted and killed by his own dogs. So the commentary on the dogs is still there. It's still viable. It's just he took out the dogs out of it. This is actually, and keep note, right? Paul Reid took the effort to actually put that in the description, right? So you you don't need to do what I did. I just usually do this out of my own interest. I see a name and I Google it. But it's good that artists do this. And then this piece was one of my first digital paintings and was created in mixed media oils and Photoshop. Now I'm interested because I can't tell which parts are the actual. Can you tell? I can't tell. I can't tell any fucking thing. Which parts? Well, maybe actually. Hold up. I'm gonna zoom in on this right here because that looks like a photo. A little bit. That looks like it's a photo with some erasing. Now some of these marks are actually starting to pop out. That's actually interesting. I did not know this. This makes the work far more enhanced. And you actually know it's a far more successful work because you can't tell that it's both digital and physical, right? I have to be told by the description, and then again, I'm zooming in just to try to find it, and I can only find maybe one or two glimpses of it. It shows you the amount of skill. Damn, sir. I wish I knew the size of this. Maybe it's on his website. Hold up. Quickly. 70 by 85 centimeters. That's a pretty good size, actually. Wait, no, that's a different one. Hold up. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm gonna zoom in on this foot and do something here. Is that the same deer? That might be. I think that's the same deer. Interesting. painted a little bit different. That's actually very interesting. Well, no. He might have painted it again, actually. Now this... oh. No. So it's not the same deer. It is he repainted it again. As we can see, it gets a little bit better. There's more dynamic lighting. You get that little bit of rim lighting. That's actually very interesting. But as you can see, Trevor Jones owns this one, and he will not let it go. So I guarantee you he's not letting this one go. We will look now at his Maker Place profile, because he only has 3 paintings on there. So we will, alright. So now I will make habit to read the descriptions. Mixed media, oil, paints, and digital. Interesting again. Pan was the Greek god of nature, forests, meadows, mountains, and other wild places. It was thought he could inspire fear in those who had strayed too far from civilization, and hence the meaning underworld panic, which is derived from his name. And this painting is depicted as a hobo-like wanderer with various pots, pans, hey, just kidding, with no fixed abode, right? As he is a wanderer. He's a god, right? Gods usually wander and look at their followers as such, and then as the nature of those who wanders, he finds people, right, and inspires panic in them, which is interesting. Again, oil paints and digital. Now my thing is, I'm gonna go try to find this here again. This also might still... Alright. Where's the IFPS? I guess we're not getting no IFPS. Oh. Here, open image in new tab. That can't be it. There we go. And so this is, again, Pan, a depiction of the Greek god Pan, the one, as Paul Reid states, panic comes from the name Pan, right? And oil painting mixed with digital. And again, I repeat it, it's extremely successful when you can't tell if that's a painting or a photo, right? Where you can't tell what's been added digitally and what's not, because you really can achieve this sort of thing with oils, this level of detail. You can, with the right brushes and the right technique, you can achieve all of this. It's happened, right? I recommend you go to any museum. It will blow your fucking mind at the level of Renaissance painting and how realistic they can actually get. Now it takes a shit ton of time to fucking paint and a shit ton of fucking layers and a shit ton of blunting, but it's possible, right? And so again, you know, it's extremely successful work. Like, look at the eyes, look at the goat. That is a goat, I think. Chest hair and shit. Look, he even took the time to render the nails, right? Because he's a wild nomad. He took the time to render the nails as unclipped, right? Why would you clip your nails if you're a fucking wild nomad, you know? Bag with apples, smashed pottery, maybe smashed in anger, and then golden ting or metal ting, you know? I don't know if it's a golden ting, but metal ting. Now that now going back and down through the forest, I'm just starting to think maybe he just added this as the photo and then painted over. I actually don't know. Again, right? This could work backwards, right? He could do this, he could bring photos into Photoshop, print them on a large enough canvas, because art stores offer this, and then proceed to paint, right? That's another viable technique. Don't get it twisted, fam. You know. You can do everything now. The art world is open for anybody to try to paint in whatever ways they want. Right, you just have to make sure that it's different from the photos, unless they're their own photos, right? Then you have full creative freedom. And so, look at this quality, fucking, look at this. my goodness. Look at the fur rendering. Holy shit. I really recommend you get anybody listening go look at Renaissance paintings, like really good Renaissance painting. Now Renaissance paintings early on had some really fucking weird depictions, and Renaissance. Oh my god, my spelling is atrocious. Renaissance babies. If you search that, you'll see some fucking horrific fucking babies. Like, I mean horrific shit. What the fuck? Oh, mother, not again. Guy fucking Fieri. Sorry about that. Guy Fieri. But you see, right? Like, the level of depiction until it hits that sort of thing, and that's ultimately far better than any of these, right? It takes a while. And then, fuck, what's up? Is there a Guy Fieri Renaissance meme? Is that a thing? Right? But then it's like, if you go to late Renaissance paintings, for example, right? Look at that. Right? This is a famous one, Plato, right? But it takes about 200 years for skills to get done, right? And so yeah, this is very nice, because not a lot of people paint like this anymore. And to see an artist bringing back this late Renaissance sort of depiction, realistic depiction, I mean, come on now, fam. Right? Yeah, how is this different from this? It's not. It's really not. At least in my personal view, it's not at all. It's this. Like, this is the foundation. I don't know, in the camera I'm reaching my hands, but this is the foundation to this sort of evolution of work, you know, and further evolution of work. It's actually really great to see somebody in fucking 2021, let alone 2017, because this is the project of, I believe, 2017. But even then, just to see somebody messing with narrative in such a way, because narrative has been sort of out of the picture for for colleges for a while, and so that's great. We will look at the other picture, and so that's his profile picture, Minotaur Man. I believe that might be the first one he minted, right? And so here, let me click away. Minotaur. Again, oil paintings and digital. The Minotaur was a famous monster in Greek mythology, the son of Queen Persephone of Crete and a white bull. He was imprisoned in the labyrinth at Crete and fed upon a yearly sacrifice offering of Athenian youths. Eventually, the Minotaur was slain by the Athenian prince Theseus with some help of the Cretan princess Ardane. I was always fascinated by the idea that the monstrous Minotaur may have had a human brain and was thus fully conscious of a strategic life. My depiction. What the hell is playing right now? I'm just gonna. It's a little bit unbeat with this, as much as I like Bossa Nova, but my depiction is sympathetic to his sad and tragic existence, of which he was not responsible. I see. I'm gonna lower this a little bit. Alright. And it's very evident right here in the eyes. Right, he's staring at you, the viewer, directly, right? You get to face him in his, again, it's a little bit of a compromised position, but not really, because he's holding the stick, right? But again, right, staring you directly in the eye, somewhat bare, almost naked, right? You can see the skull, and then in this painting, now I actually can see the digital aspect of it a little bit more, right? Because here, this texturing right here, that's flat. That's a flat image texture, right? And so he's actually using his Photoshop, not in a way where he's copying images or anything. No, he's actually just using it for texturing purposes, because sometimes, again, you can sort of achieve some textures like this with brushes, but to go in and include this sort of detailed rock texture, that would be a pain in the fucking ass, right? And you still have to render all of this realistically. paint it, right? The leaves and such, and so the skull, right? This is obviously painted, and so I mean, it's actually a great use of Photoshop. It makes complete sense, and there's a nice little trick of foreshadowing, foreshortening. Sorry, not foreshadowing, foreshortening happening here. That's actually wild. And like, right, again, Bull's head staring directly at the viewer, right? Again, right? It's like he's human. He realizes he's not human, but he has a human brain. He realizes what he is, and he's confronting the viewer in the sort of somber moment, right? It's like you catched him in the moment of self-reflection, right? What am I? What have I done? And also in the sense of like, man, you realize what you've done, but you have no control over it, right? It's like you're just sitting there. It's like I have no control over my actions. Excuse me. That's a little reaction. I see notifications, but I just hit it. But right, and so. Again, really great use of narrative, right? It really helps the painting. And you sort of understand what it's trying to comment about, right? And you feel the sympathy Paul Reid is trying to make you feel towards this Minotaur. It's actually, it's a very effective painting. Very effective, Insanely effective. Again, I can't get over how smooth this is. Like, wow. Sir, how? Practice, that's how. That's how you get good. Practice. Just practice and practice and practice. Look at that. Oh, just great. We'll look on to the next one. Oh, excuse me. And so this is Thesis and Minotaur, right? And again, mixed media, oil, paints, and digital. Thesis makes his way into the center of the labyrinth and finds the monster Minotaur asleep on the pedestal. He crawls from out the deep well with a blade between his teeth, ready to deal the killer blow. This piece is a bird's eye view of the scene, inspired by an unusual version of the myth I once read, in which the Minotaur is found asleep by Thesis in the labyrinth, right? And so again, unusual depiction, because usually Thesis fights him, but in this depiction he does not, right? He's sneaking out. He's the Minotaur is asleep, and therefore he can get the sort of jump on him, and kill him, right? And here the texturing becomes the photo texturing, but it's been filtered in a way that it fits the painting, right? And the more I look at this, I don't know if it's, again, if Paul Reid is printing these and then painting on them, or painting on them and then taking them into digital, because I see like sort of like a varnish brushstrokes or some sort of brushstroke filter maybe on Photoshop that's used, right? Because all of these are unified in these like little brushstrokes. Maybe you're unable to see them in the stream, but if you go to this website here and you zoom in, you'll be able to see them. And again, right, the skull that was on the corner where he was sitting is present here again, right? The same chair, another skull here. And the Minotaur is depicted as it's a depiction of a different story, right? The Minotaur is depicted in a rather vulnerable position, right? Because he only gets fed young Athenians, right? Nobody comes looking for him. I mean, he expects he doesn't expect ones to get fed, but he knows that people get thrown to him, like they won't attack, and so this sort of depiction, right? He's unworried about somebody might attack him, and so we see Thesis in the corner sneaking in, and it immediately tells you what's gonna happen, right? He's gonna kill him while he's asleep. No chance to fight back, right? Unless he makes a sound here or drops something, but we don't know, right? And it's very obvious the intention and the ending of the story, and so that's where the narrative aspect kicks in, and that's what makes it very interesting. Again, other than the painting, and here you couldn't see it in the other painting, but here he took the care the time to prolong the nails, right? This is a Minotaur. His brain is human and he understands what he's doing, but he's still, not in control of his animalistic urges. And so why would you cut your nails? So that's like artists who pay that much to detail. They're good. They're fucking good. Right? Even just look at the knife. Gradient on the knife, right? Look at how beautifully rendered, like, just the figures are. It's actually insane. His work is fucking, oh my god. And look at that, just Medusa. I believe that might be, I don't know who that is actually. That feels like it's Medusa just because of the hair, right? It might be somebody else. But again, very narrative driven works, but again, like in private collections, in museums, right? He has gone with the Prince of Wales, right, to Canada, to France, to Madrid. I'm gonna skip the song because apparently it gets copyright claimed. And here we go. Alright. And it's great that this description here is given. Now I wish the size was a little bit included, but he doesn't need to do that. He's an established artist. And just through zooming in, realize the sense of the size. And again, we're using the metaverse, right? You can upscale this and make it larger than you can in real life. So, size may not be an aspect here, right? But so these are all his works, I believe, that have been minted, right? If you go to his no, I believe it's his known origins page. He has nothing. Yeah, I believe he's been invited to create, but he has not dropped anything. So look forward to excuse me, to Unknown Origin Genesis drop by him. Expect a lot of people to be bidding because his level of work demands it, honestly. And before we end this little bit of a short stream, I wanted to quickly show you guys a look through his portraits and landscapes, because all of these, right, are useful in the creation of these paintings. And the best thing about these is he includes stuff like his studies, right? Portrait studies, right, which are owned in private collections. But this is how you get good. You do these just for drawing, right? And then you're able to draw the shades in and stuff, right? And then slowly more shading, right? More complex shading, right? Again, here he's using some white on the paper, right? Or that could actually just be the white of the paper, not some white conte, right? But look at the quality of these portrait studies. It's great that he has these on his website. Again, really great. And these are just his paintings. Portrait of his father. Again, it's really great. This feels like as if it's almost a John Singer Sargent painting, It's how quick it is. You can see how quick it is just by, like, the brush strokes. Well, and the hair, too. Insane. Wow. This is self-portrait? Self-portrait. Sort of when you start looking at art more and more, you start to realize which ones are self-portraits or not. And so, again, look at that. That's very nice. You can see the underpainting. That's great. I love it when you can sort of see that thing. And the hair, too. He's using in the hair to create color and tones. It's wild. And portrait of Tim. Well, hello, Tim. Nice to meet you. Look at that. Wow. Wow. He's just flexing on us at this point, right? I'll fucking still life just in the fucking thing, just cause, fuck it. Why not? I'm good at still life, just put it in there. Damn you, sir. And your insane art skills. I won't get you, I don't know what the fuck. And again, look how beautiful, like, the fabric is. The fabric folds. This shit is hard. Trust me, it's hard to draw, and it's even harder to paint because you have to introduce highlights. But again, great works, right? And these are just his portraits, right? And then his landscapes are insane. I'm a big fan of landscape studies, just because the crosshatching. I myself, when I draw, I'm a crosshatcher. That's my preferred shading style, 110%. Here you can see he's using more than crosshatching, right? Maybe some ink washes, some Conte. Right, maybe some. That looks like it's Conte. Yeah. Or like pencil, like white colored pencil. Yeah, but you can see this is study. This is just practice, right? You do this, you get good at your drawings, and you start to include. And again, keep in mind, when you're painting, you can draw before you paint on the canvas, and then it will help you, right? And these are huge, 59 by 42 centimeter. Huge. Look at that. Look at the level, like he erases and shades, and wow. These are fucking great. I fucking love work like this. Wow. Charcoal and acrylics, and these are where he puts the acrylics. I'm gonna actually, I never thought about using my acrylics with my charcoal and pen like that, but I'm gonna do that. It's actually nice to add some highlights. Look at that rim lighting, yo. Oof. Oof. Damn, sir. That's gouache, charcoal, and ink. That's the gouache. That's probably Dr. Martin's bleed proof white. Because gouache white is not as opaque as Dr. Martin's bleed proof white. If you're fucking with gouache, I recommend get Dr. Martin's bleed proof white. It is a lifesaver. Insane works, man. Insane. I'm a little bit shocked. I am shook. And this is just drawing pen and charcoal. So the charcoal has been used here, sort of these little smudges here. Not these little marks, but some of the overall gray shading, right, as a way to fill in the tones. And then you can go back in with your pencil marks and give the illusion of texture. You know, that's actually wild. And again, I recommend people do this on their own, like just looking at art and trying to figure out how it's been made, because it teaches you ways yourself of drawing and rendering, right? This is charcoal acrylics, and so this is purely charcoal and acrylics. Wow. On some gray tone or some tone, maybe that's just a wash of acrylics on the background before you went in with charcoal. Wow. This nature depictions just void of humans completely. Right? As you can see, no human has made it into here. That's again charcoal and acrylics. All I can say is one day for myself and to the artists listening. One day we'll get there. One day we'll get there, boys. One day we'll get there. We'll do it. Let me just raise the music a little bit. But one day our studies will be as good as these. One day, I have faith in us, and all artists listening. And then holy shit. This was just oil paints, and you see what I mean. But you can get the texture. You can get this texture. You don't need Photoshop, but he uses Photoshop to enhance his texture game, right? He uses it as a tool in your toolbox, but these are achievable. This sort of texture is achievable, right? And I guarantee you, because this is an oil on canvas, these are like a little bit chunkier bits of paint, right? Also, but it's great. Look at that. And also, it's great that you can sort of see the edges of the paper like that. They sort of blend in, right? One part, it's like, oh, the bin tank, and then it just gets stopped. It's great. Another pencil study. Charcoal and acrylics. You can look at that, right? The marks. It's insane. It's insane. I have no words. Reid. Paul fucking Reid. Oil on canvas. Holy shit. 65 by 105 centimeters. That's insane. The level of detail there is actually insane. I have no words. So again, like I said, you can achieve this just through oils. It's fucking hard and it's gonna take a fucking long ass time, but goddamn, does it look beautiful. I just want to be there, you know, just chilling at the fucking beach, you know, looking at the sun. Look at these Renaissance level clouds. Wow. Right, and keep in mind, he's minted a few pieces. He's minted Pan, right, from his 2010. So maybe he's had the exhibition for Mythology in 2017, but these are old. They're quite old. 2005, wow. 2012. It's another depiction of Theseus and Minotaur in the fight. Skull, wow. I wish we could scroll because there's works down here, but we can't. We can just quickly scroll through these. But I hope he brings some of these into NFTs. I really hope. Acrylics, wow. These actually could be studies. These feel like they're studies. Right? We were hitting the part in his website where I actually can't scroll, so we have no way of finding the name. That's Medusa, obviously. Insane oil on canvases. I really recommend go to his website. Go to his website. paulreidart.co.uk. Reid, R-E-I-D. Insane. Wearing a modern shirt. That's actually cool. That's very interesting, actually. Wow. That's very interesting. It's almost, it's as if you're looking at a Kent Monkman painting, you know, somewhat. For those who don't know, Kent Monkman is a great native artist. I believe maybe Canada, I'm not sure. But this is this sort of painting. Great. We have there's a piece in the gallery here in Montreal. It has like beavers praying and such. Great works, right? And these legitimately, some of Paul Reid's works feel like as if they're Ken Monkman paintings. That's great, but different, of course, right? Oh wow, look at that. Oil on canvas, holy shit. That's the study for it. Wow. Wow. And also keep in mind one thing, that's Cyclops by the way, but you can ask your friends to pose for you for their photos. No problem. Legitimately. No problem. Like that's a thing. You can also use yourself as a model for photos. That's actually encouraged in art school. It helps you far more than you think. Cyclops, but in a more modern setting, like electronic lights. I actually like these a little more than the realist, like the true to time depiction, just because, you know, it's a nice take. These are fucking cool. This is actually one of my favorite ones that I've seen by him. It's like, what? Shit, they're out. You know, and guns, again, the modern theme. It's a nice way to recontextualize the myths, you know. Look at that. Golden pot, right? And this is where the landscape training and practice kicks in, right? And then the portrait studies and the figure studies. We haven't seen any figure studies because he doesn't have them on here, but that's where it all kicks in, right? Again, Agathon, I believe. Maybe? Could be a different person. Because one has a deer and one has a stag and one's a goat, maybe, but, you know. That might be Hermes, I believe. He's the dude that has speed on him. We'll go that way. That's actually, again, really great works. really, really great works. I mean, wow. Look at this. Look at the detail on the snake. Hold up. Oh, I can't zoom in more, but look at the detail on the snake. Wow. Wow. Insane. Again, if you want to go look at his works, I believe he has 4 works of just minted on the NFT space, and that's about it. And all of them have been bought. So keep an eye out on a Genesis known origin drop by him, and also if you're curious in his work, check his shit out right on Twitter. Paul Reid, Minotaur _Man, both M's capital. I highly recommend it. You will have a blast looking at his works like you would not believe. And yeah, again, and I really go to his website and look through some of his shit. It will blow your fucking mind. And I really recommend look at his studies and try to figure out what he's come up, like how he's come up with his works. Right? You don't get to be the painter of the crown for 2 years without being fucking good at what you do. And that's about it for the stream today. To those who came, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and to those listening, again, the artwork breakdowns happen weekly. They happen as live streams, but they get uploaded to YouTube right away. YouTube saves them, and so in case you missed the live stream, they're up there. And if you ever want to contact me or get in contact with me, right here on Twitter at Anubis_3100. That's my profile. And if you want to check out my personal website, it's mmm.page/Anubis3100.eth or ETH right here. I have pages to all my collection, socials, pages about my projects and such. And if you also want to talk in the Duat residency channel on the Metakey Discord, just tag me and I'll respond. Or if you got art to share or art to talk about, please go ahead. And yeah, then again, to those who came and to those listening, thank you for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed this little artist breakdown for Paul Reid's work. Again, go follow him. Insane artist. Insane fucking artist. We'll see where his work goes to in like the next 10 fucking years in the NFT space. And that's it. Have a good one, everybody. And again, go follow him. I say this, but his work is insane. Go follow him. Yeah, have a good one, everybody. And hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. Bye. Also, yeah, hopefully you liked the mic audio. I forgot about that. We got new mics. New good mic audio. But yeah, have a good